views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
Let me be your lighthouse so I can show you the way. Let me be your shining light, I'll keep you from drifting away. I'm the one that makes you try when...
Hello, this is Patty Hunter of Patty's Page. Today my special guest here in our home studio is Bonnie Blackburn-Penhollow.
Yes.
You used to work where? Fort Wayne
Fort
Magazine?
Wayne newspapers. I was at Fort Wayne Magazine, and before that I was at the Journal-Gazette.
Oh my stars.
I moved here in 1994, so I'm celebrating 30 years as a Fort Wayne person. So.
Fort Wayner. We've been here 16 years. Dang.
Here in this spot or here in
Here
town?
in this spot.
Yeah.
So, what are you doing now? I mean,
So
what
now,
are you?
what I do now is I work at Stillwater Hospice, that used to be known as visiting nurse, and I am the director of communications there, which means I get to talk about all of the wonderful benefits that hospice brings for families who are seeing a crisis in their health.
Yeah.
So
Is it just working for near death or going to die people, or what else do you do? Palliative?
we
or-
do. So Stillwater Hospice offers hospice services, which people are maybe more familiar with. It's for people who have a serious disease and they have a life expectancy of 6 months or less, and they can come in. And what we do is when we have a patient come in, we assess them for what their needs are. So if they need palliative care, which is supportive care for those who are still seeking treatment, we offer that in various locations around our 12 counties that we serve.
12?
Please don't make me list them.
No, I'm not asking.
It's 12 counties.
Around Allen County.
Yeah, we go all the way up to Kosciuszko and down to Marion, and then over to Bern, and up here in Fort Wayne. We have 4 offices.
Holy
So
mackerel there.
we have grown quite a bit in the last couple of years, and we're really glad to be able to bring our philosophy of caring to more people who can experience a better quality of life for their end of life experiences.
Yeah, who started who was before visiting nurse? You're all one.
We were visiting nurse starting in 1888.
Wow.
So we've been around for 136 years this year.
Holy mackerel there.
And
That was 156.
36.
36?
1888.
Oh.
Yeah. And then we incorporated in 1900.
Oh.
And that's when we hired our first paid nurse, whose name was Josephine Schatzer, and she was pretty amazing person. She would go around on her bicycle and go to the various houses and take care of people, and
Like another Mother Teresa.
yeah, she was great. You know, we paid her $10 a week, and she would ride the trolley if the weather was bad, and she would take food and medicine, whatever medicines there were at the time, to people's houses. And when we realized the benefits of keeping somebody in their home, as opposed to being hospitalized repeatedly, and that's where hospice comes in. That we don't have to worry about going back and forth into the hospital over and over again. So
what age group are these?
So we cover everyone from only a few days old to 105. We had a patient who was 105 last year. We also had a patient who was diagnosed as not compatible with life in utero. So we brought the baby over to a hospice home and took care of the baby and we've done that several times over the last couple of years. We've seen an increase in the number of children that we're serving. So. Now, a child who is diagnosed with a serious illness can receive hospice care and curative care at the same time. So we provide a lot of support for the families, whether that's emotional, physical, social, psychological, spiritual. We have counselors that help with all of those areas. Our social workers help people discover, what their goals of care are. We work very closely with the patient because it's the patient's life that we're talking about here.
Yeah,
so we want them to be as comfortable and as at peace as possible as they approach the end of their lives.
I prefer to be able to meet my death without any discomfort, like with pain from you give them medicine to help relieve their pain?
Yes. Yep, we take care of any symptom management that needs to happen, whether that's pain, anxiety, shortness of breath. There are various symptoms that come along as the dying process continues that we can help with.
How long have you been working with them again?
So I started there almost 8 years ago in June of 2016, and that 8 years has just flown by. I feel so lucky to be there. I feel like I have a purpose. What I do means things to people, and so it's just been a wonderful place to land after being in journalism for 25 years.
Wow. That's a big change.
I swore I'd never go do PR, but here's an interesting story. How I got involved with Stillwater was back in 2000, I did a story on a gentleman who received hospice then from what was then visiting nurse. And I got to follow him along as he progressed in his illness and then eventually passed away. And when this job came open, 15 years later, I felt this little tap on my shoulder. Little nudge, and it said, you need to go and apply for this job. And so, when you go in for a job and they want to see what your writing samples are, I took that story. And they were like, oh, no, we're hiring her. So that was nice. But
they trained you on the job, right?
They did. The training process is very comprehensive. I went out with different disciplines to see how they do their job, go out with our palliative care program. We have people who come in and they're still seeking treatment, but they've got a lot of bothersome symptoms they want to get dealt with. And so our doctor will sit with that patient for an hour or more to discern, what their goals are. What do they want to accomplish? How do they, do they have a grandchild's wedding coming up, or are they trying to, finish some other family kinds of things, weddings, graduations, that kind of stuff, that we can help with them. Help them feel better so that they can have these meaningful moments with their family members and their loved ones, and that's what we're all about is providing meaningful moments and a peaceful, hopefully symptom-free as much as possible passing.
My country, Canada, they don't really try to persuade hospice anymore. Like near-death suicide.
Oh, the
euthanasia.
Yeah, euthanasia. We don't.
Thank God.
Yeah, we don't. We neither hasten nor impede the natural process of dying. We just help symptoms.
What's the word? Give them
death with dignity.
Right. Thank you. So the mission. Has it changed from when it first started, 1888, till now? So
we have evolved quite a bit since in the last 136 years. Right. When we started out, we were just St. Joe Hospital actually started before we started. But people didn't want to go to the hospital then because that was the place you went to die. And so we had visiting nurses that would come to the house and take care of people. The medical system was very different back then.
How's it now?
And so now, it's also almost industrialized. You have
Yeah.
physicians' offices and hospitals
For this,
and
that, for
skilled
this.
nursing communities, and
Sure.
so we meet people where they are. And I mean, if that means they're at a halfway house, we meet them there. If they're in the jail, we've provided care in the jail, and of course we also have the whole grief counseling section of our business that we do, which is open to anyone in the community. Any adult who has suffered a loss due to death does not have to have hospice involvement, and in fact, probably about 65% of our grief care clients have never had any hospice involvement. But we have that, the Peggy F. Murphy Community Grief Center.
I've heard of that.
And it opened in 2015, so
Where
we're
are
coming
they?
up, it's on our campus.
Oh, it is,
On
good.
Homestead Road out in southwest Fort Wayne. And it's open to anyone in the community, and we offer, I think we have 16 different grief groups going right now. And both at the Peggy F. Murphy Community Grief Center building, but also out in the community. We also have grief groups at churches and various other places. So
The mission still is the same.
the mission, our mission statement is Stillwater Hospice provides comfort, compassion, and guidance through life's journey. Everything we do, we lead with love. That's our tagline there. And because dying is a scary process.
It really is.
And so whatever we can do to make that easier for the family members and the loved ones. This is our magazine that we send out twice a year. And we talk about various people who've received services or who may be donors. And it's just an amazing thing to have out there. And it doesn't cost you anything. That's the other beautiful
thank
thing.
God. Who pays for it?
Insurance, Medicare, Medicaid.
Are you nonprofit?
We are nonprofit, yes.
Cool.
And
So-
that means that we just plow everything back into providing the best care possible. We're not, we don't have shareholders, and we have a board of directors, and we have a foundation that helps fund the grief center, because we don't charge for grief center services. We don't file insurance. We don't ask those kind of questions. We ask questions about like who you are, obviously, but
Right.
not,
Medical?
no. So,
I have another question.
yes, ma'am.
When they're in hospice, do you, like Ronald McDonald, do you have places for the family to stay while they are going through the
So there's two aspects of that. One is the family, the patient may be in their home setting,
That's right.
but if they have symptoms that become unmanageable, we bring them into hospice home, which is our 14-bed inpatient unit. It's the only freestanding hospice unit in Northeast Indiana that is staffed 24 hours a day by hospice-trained nurses, aides, physicians, social workers, spiritual care counselors. And so, and what's exciting is that we recently, we are in the final stages of a renovation project at Hospice Home that's going to make it so beautiful.
Where is that, in the same area?
So Hospice Home is at 5910 Homestead Road. We are just south of Homestead High School. And
that's
Indian-
south, yeah.
it's just south of Liberty Mills and Homestead Road.
How many acres?
So we have a campus that is 8 acres, and we have a nearly 2-acre restored Indiana prairie on it. And we just had our seasonal burn of the prairie, which was exciting and fascinating to watch these guys burn the prairie. But you have to burn a prairie every once in a while to help things germinate. So that's there's stories about the prairie in there, and so that's been something we've been really focused on lately. And we have a wonderful Indiana master naturalist who is our groundskeeper, and he's been all about the prairie and getting it cleaned up, and it's beautiful because we have walking trails that connect with the Aboit trails.
Yeah.
And so
that's
AARP gave us a grant to fund a spur to attach our trails to the Aboit Trail that goes just north of our campus. So we're on a kind of strange little L-shaped property, and then there's a veterinarian's office. that sort of sits inside the L, but our land goes on beyond that.
Oh, my stars.
So we have, so it's a beautiful campus. We believe nature is very healing for
It
families.
is. Do you allow
And
animals?
so we have foxes,
Animals?
minks.
Do you allow dogs and
To
cats?
come in and visit?
Yeah.
Yes, we have
Oh,
therapy
that's-
dogs that come in.
Therapy dogs.
And if you're, and you know what, those are almost better for the staff members, because they come by every couple of days and bring their big old German or golden retriever and Springer Spaniels and all these wonderful dogs, and they come in and visit. And so we have a very strong volunteer corps.
Mm-hmm.
We have 141, I think, at the last count, volunteers who help provide care. And what's interesting about hospice is that 5% of the care must be provided by volunteers, and that's because the modern hospice movement was started by volunteers. And so when the Medicare benefit, hospice benefit came in 1984, they mandated that 5% of care be provided by volunteers. So we have a very strong volunteer program, and we're always looking for more volunteers, and you can just come to our website and stillwater-hospice.org.
Yeah, we'll put that up.
And
As we go.
there's this has a whole thing about volunteering. This is our most
Yeah, I
recent
just
one.
noticed it.
So, but we have tremendous volunteers, and they do everything from filing patient records, shredding, administrative tasks, answering the phone at hospice home, to also sitting at the bedside of a dying patient, because we have a program where no one dies alone. So, and holding hands and just talking, or just being a calming presence at the bedside. So to give family members a little bit of a break too, because
Oh yeah, caretakers need
caretakers need, we caregivers are children.
Blessings.
They are, I know, and if you're not a caregiver yet, you will be at some point. We want people to know us before you need us. That's our,
right.
if you know about hospice care programs, you know that you have the option to choose your own hospice care program. You don't have to do the one that the doctor or physician's office is urging you to do. You have a choice
That's
in
right.
hospice care providers. And so
You help with wills, like
we
writing out wills?
do. We help with all sorts of financial planning, and our social workers know all the things, and we help with funeral planning and all of the little details that come up at end of life. We try to encircle a family with our comprehensive care to make sure that nothing falls to the wayside.
Yeah, nothing
And that
goes through
people-
the cracks.
Right, and so that people can concentrate on being family members together with their loved one who is dying, and they don't have to worry so much about being a caretaker. But we do educate family members constantly about changes that they could be seeing in their loved one, what it looks like as the person approaches the end of life, how they can help support that person. We do education constantly, and really want to make sure that the family members are all on board with what's going on and how we're treating their loved one, and so we find communication is key to that. So.
When my husband's mom had cancer and she passed on, she had lost so much weight, and I was so shocked.
Yeah, people stop eating as they approach the end of life, and it's, I think some people think that, we're starving patients or we're not giving them any water, but in fact,
body shut down.
When the body starts shutting down, it doesn't want food and it doesn't want water, and in fact, that can actually make people feel worse. So, educating families about what happens at the end of life, what their patients' nutritional needs are, that's a big part of what we do, so that people can understand what they're seeing and what to expect. And we even have a grief group for people who are anticipating the loss of a loved one, who's caring for a dying person. They can come in, get a group counseling, or they can have individual counseling. We have 3 trained grief counselors on staff, and they're full-time, and so we provide that as a service to the community.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys are here in Fort Wayne. how many, do they come around from all the country or just certain areas in Indiana?
So we do 12 counties.
Adams, Allen,
There we go.
Blackford, DeKalb, Grant, Huntington.
Jay.
Where's it?
That's south where Portland is.
Okay.
Kosciuszko.
Kosciuszko, Noble, Wabash, Wells, and Whitley.
Yep.
And you have offices here in Fort Wayne, Marion, Bern, and Warsaw. Oh my stars.
Yep.
And we got the phone number and everything when you need help. I also have a referral line
Yep.
for nursing and patient referral. Aw. So how about you saying the phone number for me?
Sing it or say it. Our phone number, you can reach us locally at 260-435-3222, or you can call us on our 800 number, which is 800-288-4111, or visit us online at stillwater-hospice.org.
Something's happening May the 1st. What's
Yes,
cooking?
May the 1st, we have our second annual Water Lily Women's Luncheon, starting at, registration starts at 11.
Yeah.
We'll be there. Our program starts at 11:45. It's for women who are experiencing caregiving in their lives. And we have a speaker, and we have a lovely lunch, and we have a lot of women. We had our first one was last year, and it was amazing. It was just wonderful to be in this room with all of these people who were experiencing the same things and could share their strength with each other.
Be one.
So
Yeah.
that'll be there's still tickets available for that. They're they're $100 each.
Oops.
It's a fundraiser.
Okay.
It helps support our grief programs and our hospice home programs, and so we also want to just support the families and the caregivers and give them a nice meal, and we'll have everybody out of there by 1 o'clock, and so you can get
Throw everybody out?
Yep, we just kick them. No, we don't kick them out. And what's interesting is that you see the conversations that are sparked at each table, and people not wanting to leave.
It's interesting. Who's going to be the keynote speaker?
So our keynote speaker is Kathy Rogers, who runs KB Search talent placement recruitment people.
Oh.
And she's going to share her Stillwater story, how we were able to help her family out. And, it's really about caregiving and how, women in particular are mostly the caregivers in the world.
Yes.
Whether you're caring for small children or aging parents, or you have a family member who is ill, we want to be there to support and provide that circle of care that we've been known for 136 years.
Final stages of renovation of hospice home.
Yes, so hospice home is getting approximately $1.5 million renovation. We got a new roof. See, we started the campaign in 2021
Right.
because that was the 20th anniversary of Hospice Home opening on Homestead Road. But then, so 2021, we started fundraising to replace the roof and redo the floors in Hospice Home. And the community just was amazing and really loved on us, and we were able to move from a needs campaign to a dream campaign. And so now we're actually putting doors to outside in each patient room so that family members can step out onto our gardens, into our
that's good.
we have a beautiful patio and porch
Nice
area,
scenery.
fire pits, fountains,
Relaxing.
beautiful gardens,
Peaceful.
very peaceful. And we want to be able to give the families the permission to step away from the bedside every once in a while. Because a lot of times they come into hospice home, they think they can't leave. They can't leave. But you know what? That kind of, it impedes the healing process that the family member needs. It's okay to go outside.
Yeah, if they cannot handle what's cooking in the room
Yeah.
with the patient.
They can just
They
step
need a
out.
break.
Yep.
They need a break spiritually.
And we have a beautiful family room. We have our entrance has shifted from what was the ambulance bay was our main entrance, and so and then there's sort of a long hallway before you get to the nurses station.
Wow.
So now we changed the entrance so that you enter right into the open area with seating and a fireplace, and then the nurses station is right there, because the nurses station is the heart of hospice home. That's where everybody goes. That's what we need to touch base with them. The patients are in their rooms.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're mobile. Most of the time they're not. But if they are mobile, they can go out into the gardens through that door once that's all finished. But supply chain and concrete, we're way behind on where we thought we would be, but we're going to have an open house celebrating this in September.
September what?
27th.
27.
And I'm not positive of the time, but I believe it's at 10 a.m. And we're going to have tours and
I like to go there.
Yeah, come with us. It'll be
I
fun.
think.
Yeah.
I said, oh, let me.
Film it. There you go. So we're looking forward to that, and we think our gardens will be back to looking much better.
Beautiful.
Because
Flowers.
we have tremendous garden, we call them greenscape now, volunteers, because we're trying to make sure that the plantings and all that are around our facility are natives, and so they require less watering, they require less fertilizing, and so we're trying to be good stewards of our environment.
Environment, yeah. You don't
'Cause we
want
have
to bring an alien.
Yeah, we have 5 values that guide our company. That is stewardship, inclusivity, compassion, comfort, and guidance. And so those are our 5 values, and everything that we do, we try to make sure that those are, we're living those values, and that includes even in the gardens. So,
This is Patty Hunter, Patty's Page. Thank you so much.
well, thank you for having me.
We'll see you next week. Thank you. God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Godspeed, my love, until we meet again. You're always in my heart and every dream. Don't let this time apart give in to all our fears. God will keep us close from up above. So until we meet again, Godspeed, my love. God is with us always for the rest of us.